Hi friends, Mrs. Jones here. For today's Read Aloud, we are going to be reading a story called Giraffes Can't Dance. And the author is Gilles Andrade. And the illustrator who drew the beautiful pictures is Guy Parker. So we're going to read our story. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. And here he is. See, his legs are very thin. And it's another rhyming story. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. So he's having a hard time. His knees are giving him trouble. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad, because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. And here are all the animals getting so excited for the dance that's coming, except for Gerald. The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. And here are the animals dancing. You can see them. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. They're all doing all different kinds of dances. Gerald swallowed bravely and he walked toward the floor, but the lions saw him coming and they soon began to roar. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald," the animals all sneered. "Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird." That's not very nice. They're bullying him. They're making fun of him, which is not a nice thing to do. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. "They're right," he thought. "I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot." So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before, so sad and so alone. And here he is, looking sad because they're making fun of him because he can't dance. That is not the right thing to do. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. "The moon can be so beautiful," he whispered with a sigh. "Excuse me," coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on, "but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song." Here he is, and he found a friend, a cricket, that's talking to him. You see the cricket on the leaf? And he's telling him just because he's different doesn't mean that anything's wrong. He just has to find a different song to dance to. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. And here he is, calmly listening to the sounds outside that makes music. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying, and his tail was swishing around. I think he's dancing, and the cricket's helping him. He's starting to move. He threw his legs out sideways, and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air. How cool that is. He did a somersault. Gerald felt so wonderful, his mouth was open wide. "I am dancing, yes, I'm dancing. I am dancing," Gerald cried. He's dancing with the help of his friend the cricket. Then, one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen. Now they're all saying what a great dancer he is. And look at those moves. How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how. But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. So here he is, and they all want to know how he learned to dance. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. We all can dance, he said, when we find music that we love. Here he is. I hope you enjoyed the story, boys and girls. We'll see you next time.